So hi guys. So I just want to do a quick analysis and biases for DXY EURUSD and GBPUSD. So currently, yesterday the PPI news was out, whereby it shows the changes in the manufacturing product prices that the manufacturers have. So basically, the PPI was low, which means that whenever PPI is low, it probably means that if CPI comes, will be probably lower to some extent, because the pricing that they put is cost pushed to the consumers. So if it's low, means probably the inflation is probably going down. So currently DXY and the fundamental basics of DXY, I can look and say probably in near future they want to cut rates, and today is a very, very important day. So basically that is fundamentals 101. So it's important to look for your fundamentals for the most part, especially on the interest rate, GDP, and inflation. I keep insisting those three. So currently, this is dollar index, and what I'm looking at is I already marked my PDRs, and probably this is the 2024 open. So basically, what I'm looking at and the mood of what the fundamentals are saying. So basically, we have a sell side here, and above us, probably we have now the weekly that we touched to before the sales that happened. We have a weekly CB. So currently for today, and what I'm thinking is, since getting to this monthly sell side and looking at the daily perspective, we've really sold. We've really sold as compared from Monday to now, which is Wednesday. So come CPI, I believe the opportunity that will come is probably maybe if we run this liquidity, or maybe now some strong tendency for dollar to be strong at the moment. But currently, remember, if we are looking forward to cut trades, that means that on the long term, probably dollar is going to get weak for some time. So currently, if you go now to EURUSD, and I think that is the one that I'm looking at today and timing it to see if I'll probably get a setup. So currently EURUSD, if you look, especially from the 3 month, it's showing you how bullish it has been from the IFFG that I had marked at this point. You can look at how strong it was, and probably now the draw is here on the long term, and probably maybe further draw to here, depending if all the people are cutting rates, all the economic are cutting rates, and who's cutting rate more faster and who's cutting rates more slower. So we can have that relative strength to determine which pair will be favorable. So for now, we have this. So the draw is here on the long term. If you drop to the monthly, I think the draw is here, still here. This could be two equals. So if you go to the daily, the weekly, and the daily, there are some levels that we need to quickly mark after, because remember, if you understand external and internal liquidity, there's always a chance of you be able to trade. So for example, if we rated last week, we rated the external of this high. So if you knew this, you could be entering a setup whereby it's external exiting to internal areas. So, but that then again, this week you have rated it. We've rated it again. So if you drop to daily, so there's this high that I'm looking at that we have rated. This is pre-CPI news. So if I could take maybe a bias to think what CPI will do, it depends with the results of the CPI. So if CPI probably comes unchanged, I think dollar could gain a little bit. So dollar could gain a little bit to come back to this area before any continuation up. Another scenario is if CPI is high, probably we could just extend, and probably then we can get setups during maybe London kill zone for a sell. Because for today's buyers, I'm looking at probably those sells happening short term, or rather adjust a day trading setup for today. So chances is if we combine now power 3, I know people use the midnight open of New York, but sometimes I always just like looking at the when the day starts as my power 3. I've seen it's more kind of better, but it's up to you to test it out. So currently, if we mark that PO3, all signs, if I was looking for sales, and what type of sell will this be? An external of above this daily area here. So if chances that we get a confirmation, and I would like to get that confirmation before, no, after CPI release, because if it re-extends and brings rejection, that will be a good entry for me to target this range as my day trading setup. So for GU, for GBPUSD, well, GBPUSD, we had CPI results out on GBP. So this is the move that probably made the action on this move. So currently, if I'm looking at this, I would prefer EU because when I go to relative strength, whereby I'm comparing it with the main pair Euro GBP. So I'm looking at which pair would probably favor me on that given day. So if you look at Euro GBP, so if you look at Euro GBP, and basically, if let's drop just down to daily. So there was this marking I had. So I've spotted that this is a BC. So if I drop to 4 hour and probably looking at this CBs and this CBs, generally it's telling me now that probably if I'm anticipating some weakness on Euro GBP. So if I'm to choose to trade EU and GU, so I'll first look at the DXY, look at if it's gonna gain or if it's gonna lose. So if for example, like today, probably I'm anticipating that DXY could gain. So if it's going to gain, now on the Euro GBP, which is more likely to be the weakest of the two. So the one that is going to be weakest of the two is the one that I'm going to trade using the dollar index. You see, so for example, now if I'm looking, because probably we have rated this high around here with the CPI news for GBP and all that. So basically, this could be telling me that come probably New York kill zone or London close kill zone, there could be some weakness. So weakness means what? EU itself will be weaker than GBP. So I'll cross over to compare EU and GBP, and sorry, EU and GU to look for the best pair. So for this currently, I'll be aiming to look at now Euro USD as my main pair for today. So let's see, no setup currently, but we are looking forward to see how the CPI will do.